What's up, guys? It is Pigeon from the Goose and Pigeon channel, and today we are going to be doing a deck profile on probably one of the most obscure decks you're gonna see. And a lot of people do not expect this, but it is a Reshiram and Zekrom GX deck. Now, reason why it's obscure, because apparently it is not that great of a deck, but in all honesty, it's like any other deck that plays the Naganadal package. And that's all it really does, to be completely honest. You play Naganadals, and you just go to town doing 270 each turn. So it's not hard to actually do it, but people also complain that you won't be able to get a one-hit knockout on certain Pokemon, like, the ADP with 280, but that's okay. So with other inclusions in the deck, we'll show you why it can actually do something against those other decks. So without further ado, let's get right into the deck. So first off, for the main Pokemon, we are playing two of the Reshiram and Zekrom. So let me zoom in. There we go. Sorry about that. So we're playing two of the Reshiram Zekrom GX. You really don't need to play more of him because you are playing other attackers in the deck. So you're not going to really use its GX attack. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. But it's mostly for the Fabled Firebolts. So if you see, let's actually use the regular one so you can actually see it a bit better. So it costs a Fire and a Lightning energy for 90 times. Discard up to 3 in any combination of basic Fire and basic Lightning energy from your bench Pokemon. Attack does 90 for each discarded. So you can go up to 270 with this, which is pretty nice. Now, if you really wanted to, we did update it with Sword and Shield cards, but I didn't think of this till now. You could put Vitality Band in here, so you can actually hit ADP instead of playing like Shrine and Punishment or anything. I just realized that now. We should actually put Vitality Band in this, take out the Shrine and Punishment. But I mean, Shrine does get that extra damage in case we need to swing for a knockout and use one less energy to take out a thing. So I think Shrine is fine, better than Vitality Band. Next up, for another attacker, we're playing the Blacephalon GX. We are playing quite a bit of Ultra Beast in the deck. So we do have Ultra Beast synergy cards in here as well. Surprisingly, this does a lot more than the Reshiram and Zekrom. And I think that's why people opt not to play it, because this card does a lot more, and it gives up one less prize card. 180 basic Fire. We all know what this card does. It's one of the best decks in the format at the moment. Bursting Burn. Opponent's active is Burned and Confused for 1 Fire. Really nice. But Mind Blown makes it shine. Discard any amount of Fire energy and put them in the Lost Zone for 50 each. So if you wanted to, 6 Fire energy, 300 damage. Really nice. If you're trying to hit bigger numbers, you can do 320 and 340 if you have the right amount. But you have to be very careful, because this is basically a late game card. And also, you're mainly using Burst GX to get that less prize card instead of using the Cross Break. Because if you want the bonus for Cross Break, you need to play End's Resolve to do it. And it basically does 170 to a bench. And then if you play End's Resolve, same turn, do another 170. So you could potentially snipe 2 dead enemies with it, but it's not ideal. Next up, like I said earlier, we are playing the Naganadal package. So we're playing the 4 Poipole and the 4 Naganadal. Energy Recursion, Fuel for the Reshiram Zekrom. No explanation, really. Now, if you're facing against any Malamar or Mewtwo Mew decks, Turning Point can be a real devastator to it. For 3 energy. If you have exactly 3 prize cards remaining, does an extra 80, so it would be 160. Hit a Mewtwo Mew, 320, easy knockout, or any psychic deck, it can knock it out pretty easily. We do not play the Naganadal GX from Forbidden Light with Stinger GX to be able to manipulate prizes, but it might be a cool inclusion to put in, but we don't know yet. Next up, we're playing 2 Jirachi, obviously for consistency. We do have other consistency cards, but if we need a specific trainer card, we can just get it with Jirachi, then just bring it back to the bench with a skateboard and all that good junk. And then for the last Pokemon, we're playing the 1 Tabakoga Prism Star because we are obviously playing Lightning Energies, and this is one of the best ways to recur them. And you can just put 2 Lightning Energy from the discard onto, basically, you can, if you have 2 of them, the Reshiram Zekroms, which is really nice. Onto the trainer cards, we're going to start with the items. We're playing 4 Quick Ball. Obviously, almost everything is a basic Pokemon. The only non-basic is the Naganadel, but discard a card, grab a basic Pokemon, put it in your hand. Awesome to put energies in the discard pile because we want to recur them. Next up, we are also playing 3 copies of Mysterious Treasure. Now, this can get you any Psychic Pokemon or Dragon Pokemon at the cost of discarding a card. Does basically the same thing as Quick Ball, but you mainly want to use Treasure to grab Naganadel. Because honestly, we can grab Reshiram Zekrom off a Quick Ball because it is a basic. So we want to try to use Mysterious Treasure to grab our Naganadels if we can. Next up, we're playing 2 Energy Switch. We obviously want to try to get our energy moving around, move it to the Reshiram Zekrom, so we can actually deal some damage. 2 Skateboard for Jirachi, obviously, or if you need to try to retreat something, this will help, honestly, reduce the cost by 1. Playing 2 copies of Switch. If you have no real way to get your other Pokemon back, this is a good option, because we know Absol can be that Pokemon. And then for the 1-ups, we're playing 1 Beast Ring, 1 Great Catcher, 1 Pokemon Communication, and 1 Reset Stamp. If you're playing any Evolution deck, you should probably at least include 1 or 2 Communication, so you can put any other Pokemon away, so you can get that missing piece you need. Or if you don't need it at the moment, just swap it for something else. So that's pretty nice. And Beast Ring, obviously, just to get more energy onto your Naganadels. Or your Posephon. Next up to the supporter cards, we're playing 2 Professor Researches, one of the most aggressive draw cards in the game. Discard your hand, draw 7. Really can't complain with this card at all. I love it. If I can grab the cards, there we go. Next up, we're playing only 2 Welder. Not the traditional 4 Welder, because we are technically playing other types of energy, and we have a lot of other draw cards to actually do it. So 2 Welder, we actually found out it actually works fine with playing 2. If we wanted to probably up it, we could put it to 3. Next up, we're also playing 2 Volkner. We're playing Lightning Energy. Good way to grab it, and an item card. So obviously all the item cards I just showed you, they're very essential to the deck. So if you need to try to grab another Pokemon, Volkner can grab it while getting yourself that Lightning Energy. Now to the 1-ups, we're playing 1 Erica's Hospitality. It's good, but in my honest opinion, this could probably be traded in for a Welder. But, I mean, you could potentially draw 6, depending on which deck you're facing. So, and this is Goose's deck, by the way, so she feels that this card is actually better than the other Welder because of massively aggressive draw. We are playing the 1 Ends Resolve. This is arguably cuttable. You really don't need it, because obviously we don't really use the Reshiram Zekrom GX, but this actually helps get energy out, but it only does it to bench Dragon Pokemon. So you have to make sure your Reshiram Zekrom is in the bench. Arguably this card is really slow, but we play it just in case. We're playing 1 copy of Marnie, Shuffle Draw, self-explanatory. And for the last one, we're playing 1 Cynthia and Caitlin. Obviously, put a supporter back into your hand, discard a card, draw 3. It's really nice. Next, we are playing Stadium cards in the deck. We're playing quite a few of them, actually. So, we are playing 2 of the Ultra Space. Ultra Space is actually very nice in this deck because we are playing a high count of Ultra Beasts. Downside with this card, if you're facing against Mewtwo Mew, they can use this card to grab Naganadel, so they can just pitch it. So be very careful when playing this against a Mewtwo Mew player. Next up, we're playing one Giant Hearth. Obviously, Crab Fire Energies. Self-explanatory. Same thing with Viridian Forest, but it grabs any energy. Typically grabbing the electric energy if we can't find any other cards to grab them. One Heat Factory, discard a fire, draw 3. Self-explanatory. And then for the last one, playing one Shrine of Punishment, obviously to try to take down the bigger GXs like Arceus Dialga because it has 280. So we want to be able to actually smack it for 270, and then it'll take Shrine damage, making it so we get an easy knockout. And then last but not least, we're playing the energies, obviously. 8 Fire and 5 Lightning Energy. Notable mentions we could probably add to this deck. I mean, could. Guzmahala, really good card. Search as a stadium card. We're playing 5 of them, and then if you discard 2 other cards, you can grab a tool, a special energy, and what's the other one? Yeah, tool and a special energy. Like the only tools we play at the moment are these skateboards, but if we wanted to add the Vitality Band, we can. And for the special energy, we would probably include Weakness Guard energy or Aurora energy. But when Rebel Clash comes out, we'll probably be able to include the new Capture energy, which allows us to grab a basic Pokemon. So when Rebel Clash comes out, I think wow! I think this deck will get a major boost indeed. So yeah, tell me what you guys think about the deck. This is Goose's choice, obviously. For her deck build, she has really good deck choices and card choices to put in, and she's very passionate about this deck, and actually it is pretty fearsome to verse, especially when you're playing a Mewtwo Mew Firebox. It just puts out so much damage, and it's very conservative. So yeah, tell me what you guys think about the deck. Leave a comment down below what you think about the deck. Any cards we should include or cut. Leave reasonings down in the comment section below. And give this video a like, and hope to see you guys in the next one. See ya!